Hello everyone, welcome back to Embroidery. If you're new here, my name is Innes and I love to share all of the things to do with our journey to a slow and handmade home. So that includes a lot of secondhand shopping. You know I love secondhand shopping, and today we're talking a little bit about Christmas. I'm really sorry. I'll talk a little bit more about that in a second, but for now I would love to tell you that this video is a collaboration with Sarah from His, Hers and Ours. Sarah is a content creator based in the US, and today we're doing a little bit of a comparison between UK thrift shopping, secondhand shopping and US thrift shopping, and seeing a little bit how different it is in the two countries. So you'll see here in the UK, if you're in the UK you'll know this already, that we have to go to lots of different little charity shops to find good things. Our thrift shops, our charity shops as we call them, are much smaller, so often I will do several at a time to make sure that I'm really getting the best chance of finding some good things. In the US things are quite different, and Sarah has a whole video on her channel talking about a recent trip that she did, and I will give her a moment now to introduce herself and tell you a bit more about what she does.
Hello, I am Sarah from the YouTube channel His, Hers and Ours. My husband and I live in the Central Valley of California in the United States. We have 4 children, ages 4 to 10. We were planning a trip to Europe and I came across Innes's lovely channel. I reached out to her and she so sweetly agreed to collaborate with me today. We have, I guess what you would say, a mini homestead and raise miniature Texas Longhorns, and so on my channel, I share our farm life and the things that I do as a homemaker. One of my favorite passions is thrifting, and I hope you enjoy the video today.
So recently I made a trip to a lovely historic town about half an hour from where I live in North London called St Albans. St Albans has such a rich history. It's a very old Roman town here in the UK, and it's now quite wealthy, so it's a really great place to go for charity shopping because it has lots of great things in the charity shop. Now, I mentioned the C word earlier, and that is because I'm expecting a baby soon, and so I really need to start thinking about Christmas quite early this year. So while I was going around the shops, I was trying my best to think about things that would make really great gifts. And then I will also at the end drop in a find that I found on Facebook Marketplace, which is definitely going to be a great Christmas present and that I'm really excited about. For now, I will insert a little bit of footage of the trip that I made so that you can see some of the things I found and put back, and then afterwards we'll share what I actually bought. So the first thing I found on my trip to St Albans was this beautiful antique Dutch bowl. I suspect, I can imagine it might have been something different in a past life, but we are going to be using it as a fruit bowl. I just love this so much. The blue Delft paintwork on it is just beautiful, of the windmill, and the glaze is kind of crackled, so it has a really beautiful antique effect. It's also just in great condition, so there are no chips that I could see, and the whole thing was yeah, was in really great condition. I bought this bowl from a lovely shop called Emmaus. So if you don't know Emmaus, they're a charity here in the UK that helps support homeless people. And one of the things they do is upcycle old furniture and resell it. And it's providing work for people who are otherwise out of work. And also, you know, it's great for the planet because they're upcycling things and giving them new life. So Emmaus is a relatively big charity here in the UK, and they have loads of really good shops. In fact, there's an amazing big one just outside Cambridge, which I've heard about and really want to visit. But this one that I went to in St Albans, where I found this bowl, was just amazing. Like, it had lots of really old furniture that had been beautifully painted or sanded and refinished, alongside some other like just lovely vintage pieces like this bowl. So honestly, I could have bought more, but I restricted myself to just the bowl, which hopefully was the wise choice. Then I found a massive pile of books, and like I said earlier, I'm already thinking about Christmas, and so picking up books is essential because books always form the main part of the gifts that we give to our children. So finding them secondhand is great because they're cheaper, and also because I don't have to worry so much about the condition, but also you tend to find just really lovely ones. So I'll show you them now. So first one I picked up was this Atlas of Adventures. I'm trying now to go for reference books as much as possible, just because my little boy is very much into his kind of science and geography, and they also help us with our homeschooling. So this will be a really lovely one for that. In the same vein, there's this one called The Way Things Work. This actually looks exactly like a copy that I had when I was my son's age, about 25 years ago, probably longer. And it's such a blast from the past for me. This is a great book for learning about how things work, mostly machines, which again is something that my son's really into, so I know he will absolutely love this and he'll get a lot out of reading it for himself. I also found two Old Bear books, so Old Bear and Little Bear's Trousers. We don't have any Old Bear books, but they do read them at my mother-in-law's house and they really like them. So I thought these might be good stocking fillers, or perhaps they could go in an advent calendar or something like that, but definitely worth picking up. All of these books, I should say, were from a special kind of charity shop here in the UK called the Oxfam Bookshop. So Oxfam is a huge charity. I think maybe they're worldwide, but they here in the UK have these specific secondhand bookshops, which is just amazing for finding all sorts of books. But they do a deal on children's books where if you buy 9, you get a 10th free. So it works really well if you're stocking up for Christmas, for example. The next one I got was this Child's Guide to Wildflowers. My daughter will love this. It's got a little bow on it, which is really cute, and the illustrations are just beautiful. I'll put some cutaways in so that you can see. Again, this will be a really helpful one for homeschooling. We spend a lot of time out in nature, and my daughter in particular is really keen on flowers and always wants to know what they're called, so we will definitely enjoy using this. I also found this story orchestra book. We've got several of these now and they get so much listening in our house. They're a really good introduction to classical music for small children, and this one is The Four Seasons by Vivaldi, which fits really well this term because the composer that we're looking at this term is Vivaldi. So actually this probably won't quite make it to Christmas gifts. I suspect I'll give them this sooner, but I couldn't believe I found this. It's brand new and it was only I think £2.50 when new. These are like over £10, so that was a very good find. Another one I was very pleased to find is this one called the Explorer's Atlas. This is maybe a little bit old for my son yet, but so it might be one for next Christmas instead. But it's another really beautiful book, and again I'll put in some cutaways so you can see. There's a lot of reading in this, which for now is probably a bit beyond my children, but I can really see this getting lots of use in years to come. Finally, I also found this Katie Morag collection. We love Katie Morag. She's, if you don't know Katie Morag, a little girl based on a Scottish island, and she gets into all sorts of adventures. I have Scottish, my dad's Scottish, so I have a lot of Scottish heritage, and it's really lovely to read stories that relate to that. and yeah, they're just generally really well written and quite beautiful. I did also find an excellent winter coat for my son. It's a tiny bit big probably, but I think it will just last him 2 winters. So that was, I think, only a couple of pounds, and I think he'll wear it every day, so that was a really good find. I did also find this coat, which I will put again cutaways of. This is a vintage Gloverall wool coat, and honestly, I don't think I'm going to buy any other kind of coat anymore. My sister-in-law gave my son a Gloverall coat last year, which had already had maybe 30 years of use and just looked brand new. And he loved wearing it. It was really warm and it kept him dry. So as soon as I spotted this one, I knew we had to get it. Gloverall is a really old UK brand. They make these beautiful wool coats that are, yeah, like I said, really warm and really practical. But the best thing about them is that they just don't wear, like they just keep looking brand new and really smart. So yes, I was very happy indeed to find that one. And then finally, something that I didn't find in St Albans, but I wanted to share anyway, is this amazing find from Facebook Marketplace that honestly I think is one of the best things I've ever found secondhand. I've known for a really long time that I wanted to redo a vintage doll's house for my daughter. She loves playing with the little basic doll's house she has at the moment. She plays with little My Leg mice that she really loves, and yeah, it gets so much play. So I knew that I wanted to upgrade it to something that I know will last her for many years and that is really beautiful as well to look at. Having said that, vintage dolls houses are pretty expensive, so I've really been hunting for months, maybe even a year, for the right doll's house at the right price. And finally, a couple of weeks ago, the perfect one came up on Facebook Marketplace, and I was so quick messaging the guy, like, please, is this still available? This doll's house was only £40, which honestly is just such a bargain. He probably should have charged me 3 times the price, but I wasn't going to let him know that. Just maybe, I don't know, maybe I should have done. He seemed really happy actually to pass it on to us at that price. He said his daughter's played with it for many, many years. They've now left home. So he'd owned it for 20 years and he said he bought it secondhand as well. So it's probably at least 30 years old, but who knows. It does need quite a lot of work. So the internal electrics need like fixing, that maybe a fuse needs changing or something. There's a little bit of like, it seems like maybe a mouse took residence there at one point because there's some mouse droppings around, but we can clean all of that out and give it a bit of a sand and a paint, maybe put some new wallpaper in and so on, and make it really lovely. It also came with quite a lot of furniture as well, which is a little bit mismatched, and honestly I will probably give quite a bit of it away, but there are some really nice little pieces in there, and then I can add to it with other pieces I can find. I would love to hear if you have any ideas for this doll's house. I'm probably going to share the process of doing it up. It will take, I think, a little while, a couple of months, but I'll take you along with me as I kind of transform each room. So if you have any ideas or you'd like to input into that, then leave a comment down below, or you can come over to Instagram where I'll probably share more of the process along the way, and you can maybe give me some ideas as I do it. So yeah, that is a very exciting one, and I'm really looking forward to getting into painting it and redoing it and making it look really beautiful. If you've enjoyed this video and you like seeing thrift hauls, then you will almost certainly love this one, which is all about my trips to charity shops on the island of Jersey, in the Channel Islands here near the UK. This is some of the best charity shop shopping probably in the world. Not that I've been to everywhere in the world, but I think it just cannot get better than this. So I share lots of beautiful vintage finds over there that you might enjoy. Otherwise, I will see you all next time. Bye.